chat out of the phone. By the way, guys, this was very, very important. Sorry to keep you waiting, but very, very important phone call. It has to do with the PCBs. With the PCBs. As you know, I haven't quite released the thing. You know, I haven't made the videos. I haven't made like very clear instructions where to get them. In fact, it's kind of obscure. You have to like go into the thing, be part of the group, and you know, download the secret link. And you know, it's kind of been on purpose that I made it that way. I don't want everyone to just go crazy order these boards because, well, I haven't finished the testing, right? And so, as you guys know, some people have been buying them, and let's see. Yeah, it's just good sound, right? Everything's working out. What's been happening is that a few of you guys have been ordering a bunch of them. I mean, like 100, 200, 250, and a few of you have been starting to build them. But as it turns out, there might be some evidence that these little connectors that I chose to do that might not be up to, you know, spec to do this. That they're just very low quality, and the surface, the amount of surface area that it takes to connect them might not be. And it turns out there are other connectors that we can use that have the same spacing, and we could use like that rubber, that ribbon cable. So there are higher quality ones. They're probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're going to be like orders of magnitude better and safer, right? And so we're trying to make something that is cheap, but it also safe, right? And easy to build, you know, all that stuff, you know. And so I think it's really good that we are catching that stuff right now. There's some videos. There's some of you guys that are building this, and I don't know if you guys saw the one guy that started building it kind of backwards. He put the batteries on here first, and then he started to solder the little connectors here. And as he was doing that, obviously it's very easy to, well, to short out the little pins here, and the fuses were blowing, which I was actually very happy to see, because you know, that's what those are designed there for, so that if you make a mistake, if you short out any of these things, those fuses go up instantly. And they went up like just instantly, without a lot of fuzz, without smoke, without arcing, without, you know, I mean, there's arcing in there, but it's limited to a very tiny little space. That's what we want to see. We want to see the mistakes just, you know, trigger those fuses like this. It kind of sucks. Now he's got a board that he's got to go and try and fix, right, with a bunch of batteries. If you do it the way that I'm going to recommend, which is to use the removable, what are they? They're just the regular holders, then you'll be able to just pop out the batteries and then work on the board, right? If you're going to solder them directly into the board, try to save money, then that's going to be hard, because then you're going to have to, you know, take the batteries out. And so that's why maybe I don't recommend you soldering them straight into the board. I mean, there are some of you guys that are going to do it. You know, I kind of understand that. But I kind of had to take that call. You know, I had already scheduled a thing, and I thought, well, this is kind of important. And I think, yeah, for the next couple of days, I think I'm going to be able to kind of look at those pins, order some, do my own testing, then do that thing. And so when the video finally comes out, then it's going to be, you know, with all the tests, so that you can make the right decisions and make the safest battery available. But anyways, how is everyone? Let me open up the thing here. I haven't even opened up how do you open the thing? Hide chat? No, not hide. Open it in another window. Come on, man. Is it here? Oh, look at that. I have two. Do I have two here? Sorry, guys. Let me just figure out my settings here. I kind of didn't. I'm unprepared. I'm late and unprepared. How dare I? Especially when all you guys are here waiting for me. Hide chat. How do you open the chat? Oh, here we go. You just click here. Pop out chat. There we go. That opens up the thing, and it's higher. How is everyone doing tonight? Is it Are you saying Instinct 22 says? Are you saying first generation was a bad design? No, it's just I didn't pick the best connector, right? I was trying. We're trying to hit, like the numbers so that it's not too expensive. And so I thought, these connectors are good. They're used on Arduinos. This should be good, right? But Arduinos really, they're not really pushing a lot of amperage to them, right? And even though I'm like, well, these will push, a few amps, a couple amps max, it'll be fine. But yeah, I guess they're super low quality, and so they're designed for, they fail a lot, right? And the guy that I was talking to has a massive amount of experience designing circuit boards and stuff, and he was doing his own testing. He goes, man, these things are crap. I wouldn't put them in my products, and and he has a lot of experience, so therefore, I have to like kind of, I mean, I'm way over my head here. I'm not really a electronic designer or electronics engineer, right? And so I'm kind of engineering this stuff with a lot of help and stuff, and so this is one of the things that I thought, well, these are probably not. So I think it's good. I think we caught it. I think most of you guys have ordered parts and they're on their way, but you guys haven't started like putting them together. So if anything, this is gonna be something that's gonna cost you like $8. I think that's what the cost of those little things for every 100 boards go for. So then I'll remove those as a recommended connector and then change it to another one, and hopefully we caught that on time before we started like really building massive Powerwalls with the wrong connector, that it's not as safe as it can be, right? So stay tuned with that. If you have those and you're about to start soldering your things, just hang on with the little 8-pin connector until I can share with you guys the new one, that it's better, and we can feel more comfortable, doing that thing. Every new design will need to be debugged and extensively tested before release. So I kind of released it. I kind of softly released it, right? That's why I haven't made that video. I mean, I've been really busy. That's a big reason of it, but that's why I haven't been pushing myself too much. I want to test all this stuff before. That's number one, and then after that, then I'll release it. But at least it'll have, at least a number of recommendations of parts, and and then I can show you like that you can do different variations of building this thing, but then with like as not as recommended. I can say like, well, I won't recommend using that, but if you want to do it, that's on you. Because I know how you guys are going to do whatever you want. You guys are going to build these things in any way that you guys feel, right? But of course, there's going to be the official recommendation or recommended, setup that we're going to do for the thing. So let's see here. Let's see. What's the max amps you push? Well, we realized that the weak link is the battery holders, right? Those will do about 5 amps, but they kind of run kind of hot at 5 amps, which is okay because that's 1C. That's above 1C. So that's why I've said like it'll run at 1C continuous. It'll run 2C like peak, right? Which it's perfect for Powerwalls, because if you have a Powerwall, just think about this. If you want a Powerwall, 20 kilowatt hour Powerwall, right? That's what it takes to run like for 12 hours your home, right? Or your business or whatever. Then that 1C of that is 20 kilowatt, right? And so 20 kilowatts is a lot. I mean, that'll run like industrial machinery, right? Like that'll run 20 kilowatts will run 4 of my old, outdated, really power hungry AC units. And so if you have 4 AC units in your home, that means you have a massive home, and 20 kilowatt hours is not gonna, definitely is not gonna do, it's not gonna be enough to have as a Powerwall. That means you're gonna be looking at 60 or 70, kilowatt hours, which means that then that Powerwall at 1C will do about 60 to 70 kilowatts, right? So you'll be good. Like there's almost no scenario where you need more than 1C out of your Powerwalls. There are very few applications where you will need that, right? But those are like not normal. They're like if you're building like a little peak shaving thing, or I don't know, something like that, or you just have like massive machinery that is just, you know, uses, you know, tenfold what your normal use on normal use is, right? Then your peaks are gonna be so much higher or whatever. Like, but that's just not a normal thing. That's normal people putting a little battery in their garage to run their home. 1C is enough, and so that's why we're taking this approach to that, right? So yeah, we're looking at around 4 amps per board. That's what we're doing. These, by the way, I think they blow around 10, 12 amps, right? So when the guy was shorting those out, that's how much they were. The little batteries were putting out, and they were burning up like that. So, and once you know, if you haven't seen the schematic, the diagram. When you haven't seen the diagram of this, you see that there are, every pathway has fusing on this, right? So it's not the traditional like cell level fuses, right? So there's cell level fuse per every 7 cells, so it's not really, you know, cell level. But then that is all, that goes all into the, you know, the what would that be called? Oh my god, I'm lost for words here. Yeah, that goes into the main rails, right? 24-volt rails, and that's every 7 cells is gonna be fused to the main rails. But then every cell in between each cell is parallel, and it's gonna have actually it has 2 of these fuses, 1 on each board. So that means there's a couple of fuses in between there. You can you know, if anything happens to any of those cells, those fuses will blow, and then the main 7. The one in line for the 7 cells. So once you look at the schematic, you'll see, or the diagram, you'll see like, oh yeah, there's a fuse here, a fuse there. Everything is fused when you put this pack, and so it should go. The only thing that it was a weak link, I think now it's coming up to, is like the connections between that. Yeah, because that, if those little connectors heat up too much before 12 amps, then they're going to be melting, right? The fuse are not going to see more than they need to blow, but the little, you know, the little connector is just going to be like melting, and that's not a good thing. So we can definitely, if we can prevent that, that would be a good thing. Instinct 22 says, were you smoking something on the first generation? Just wondering now that it's legal. Thanks for your time. No, I wasn't. I wasn't invited with Joe Rogan and Elon Musk to smoke that thing, whatever that thing it's called. What was it called? It's something else, right? Let's see. Let's start reading some of your comments, man. What am I talking about so much? Okay, sorry. I won't be able to go back. I mean, there's like a ton of them, right? It's like, what do we... Woo! Okay, so let's just start fresh. Let's start from right here, from Pablo Bettini. Your channel is beautiful. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Pablo lies. I just need to run a small RV 24 hours. Yeah, that's going to be, Andrew Hurst, that's going to be tough on this design, but it's possible. You just have to run 24 volts, because that's what this thing is designed. It won't easily mold into other. There are other designs that might do it, like this guy right here, right? He did a thing where like you just you can just load up the holders just for like 4S or 3S, and then you just short out the little jumper here, and then all of a sudden you have that, right? Yeah, this is another design is using these other little things, which it turns out they're like more expensive than the ones that we're using, but in my opinion, they're not safe, because if those touch there, then that's a short right there, and they could easily, well, let's see, well, not easily. If you push those, they don't actually move that much. They could be safely used. It's just a lot more like exposed areas, right? Which is a thing that that some people have some concerns on the what are those, on the standoffs too, that I need to, you know, shrink to those so that they're not exposed. Yeah, I kind of agree. The better, the less exposed, you know, electrified surfaces, the better. Robert Wilson won't let me post links. Sorry about that. Yeah, it doesn't let it. Only, I guess only like moderators can post. Robert Wilson, those batteries are fake. 5 Ant, thank you. Time to parallel up. Yes, parallel up. I hope this is everybody. The what? There's a bunch of people that keep on making electric powered cars in my neighborhood. It's like some weirdo Euro trend with cars. Electric cars are in. Electric mobility. We're all building. By the way, oh yeah, I was gonna even write some announcements here. Okay, announcement number one. I did mention last time that I was gonna be at that battery show. I couldn't go. It was way too expensive. I was like way too expensive. I waited too long, and I think just flying to that part of the country is just. So, anyways, I'm like, nah, I can't. I'd rather spend that money on batteries. Tom is supposed to be on his way there. He's he's got meetings and stuff that he's gonna do. So he said he would record some stuff, some video for us, and then we could show it and see. Because I think it probably would have been a cool thing to do. I mean, it's like a whole convention center full of batteries. It would be like a candy store for me, right? But I do want to go to New York at the end of this week for Saturday. There's some event. So I want to go and build a skateboard, the next skateboard. I have all the parts here using the 2170s. I got to build this battery and then ship it because I can't fly with it. Right? So that means I got to like build it tonight and then like put it on the thing tomorrow and ship it to New York. I gotta find a way. Maybe that guy Vitaly will let me ship it to his place, and then I want to go down there and then shoot a video where I build the skateboard. It's like, here are the parts. This is what we're doing. Let's build it. Maybe I'm gonna build the battery here and then show that here, but then we can go and hang out. So I guess I'm gonna choose a time to make like a little meetup. If you're in New York this next weekend, I want to meet you. We want to hang out and stuff. I want to ride the skateboard. So this thing is going to be one of those cool events where like everybody rides their electric skateboards around town, and it's one of the big brands that is putting it together and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to be in New York. That's it's tentative right now, but I think I'm going to book the flight and do the thing, and yeah, schedule the whole thing so that we can do that. I have all the parts. I order all the stuff that I needed so that I can take a lot of it with me, or ship it. Like I said, the batteries, those 24 batteries. You think I'll get stopped at the airport if I take 24 of these 2170s in my bags, spread all over my bags? What do you guys say? Came across a good find for some Boston Power 5300 milliamp hour batteries. Anything to look out for? No. I mean, are they new? If they're used, you gotta test them. It's just another way around it. Those are cool cells, man. You know which ones they are? There's the Swing. The Swing are green, and then there is the Sonata, and both of them are 5300 milliamp hours. Yeah, these are cool. Their energy density is not that great. It's like 2600 milliamp hours, right? So, that's old news, man. We're, basically two of these guys, 2400. By the way, another update to the thing. I don't know if you saw that we were selling the Model S. I'm gonna get a couple of those modules and then do a model, a Tesla, a real like Tesla batteries, out of a Model S, a Powerwall using those, right? And so there were some modules that were available. I posted that on the group yesterday. By the way, they all sold out, so they're gone. If you were looking into that, I guess maybe I can go and delete the thing or whatever. But that's just the first round. There's going to be a lot of those coming. I have a little inside information that there are going to be a lot of them coming. Hopefully, good price on those, and they're so easy to put together. But the thumbnail for this was about this box. I finally found. By the way, guys, You guys don't know the amount of work that goes into finding a box that is the right size and the right price, by the way, because you can find any box you want, but it's like some of them are like $800 for some metal box. You're like, hey, I'm gonna put $300 worth of batteries in an $800 box. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? So finally found a box for those batteries. Now I can make the video and build that Powerwall. Those are about the most most affordable cells, and they're easily, well, the problem is that you can do 10S or 15S, right? So the voltage is kind of weird, but well, you'll see when I make the video. We'll find ways to do that. They will detain you, says Javier Camacho. Javier Camacho's in the house. Island Times is in the house. Look at that. Greg Young says, get a book title for Javier to write about his experiences. Power to Puerto Rico. There you go. If you check baggage, get and ship it. Oh, I don't know. I don't have a CNC machine, so I use my kid's 3D printer. Well, yeah, that's cool to make molds. I need to get one of those. I wanted to build some to make for that skateboard, but I don't have it. And I don't know if I can learn to, design, the CAD drawings on another program. Pablo Bettini says, Jehu, I am an Argentine who has dreams of being able to create his own electric vehicles like you, but there are no powerful drivers or engines to create them. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to import them from the US. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to import them from the US. Yeah, because I'm sure there are motors down there. There's like a whole, South America's like a whole another continent. It's like a whole other world over there. I'm sure there's batteries and motors and all that stuff over there, right? And some of them, Argentina isn't like a very first world, country with like modern cities and a modern metropolis and stuff. Yeah, right? I don't know. I've never been down there, so I don't know anything. Hi, Jehu. Any word from Alarm Hookup regarding the battery supply? eBay looks a little light. I think maybe Javier might be able to tell us because he's working with him, directly with him. So, yeah, where are the batteries? Yeah, there's, I think there's just a lot of work that goes on to putting those batteries, it's just like when we see one little video and then we see one little listing on the thing, you think like, okay, that seems easy. There's a ton of work that goes behind it. So I think they're just going as fast as they can with all those batteries that they're putting. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for them too. Let's see. Hey man, I was Mr. G's class. I'm trying to make my bus here 4-wheel drive, independent motors on each wheel. What kind of size would I need to get highway miles for about 60? Hey, what's up? I'm answering questions, boy. This guy wants to be on camera. So, yeah, if you're putting 4 of them, you don't need that much. You could get away with like 20 horsepower motors, right? Like 20 kilowatt motors. Yeah, get like motorcycle 20 kilowatt motors. That's enough to move a bus. You think 4 of those would be like 80 kilowatts, which is what I'm running around, except that you won't have a transmission. It's like single gear, but that's how I'm running, and it's not a race car, right? If you go through the gears, you can, you have a little bit of pickup or whatever on 2nd gear, and then 3rd you can hit like highway speeds, and then on 4th you like really hit it like really, the motors, they're like really low RPMs, which is good because they have a lot of, so it actually the taller gears run really cool for cars because there's less cogging and stuff, and the motors are like running at slower RPM, so there's like less vibration, less noise on all the drivetrain and stuff. It's like really cool. But yeah, about 20 kilowatt motors should work. Let me turn this off. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I just have to close that window because everybody can see me from the outside. I think I'm gonna be crazy here. Maybe I'll be able to fly. Did you saw Mr. G on my last video? Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta tell him. By the way, I gotta tell him that I'm going to New York, so that I can hang out with him. Let's see. Get a Prusa i3 Mark III 3D printer. Prusa. Yeah, I keep hearing good things about that one. To increase the number of cell cycles, you would set the charger to around 80 to 90 top charge and pick an inverter to stop at the bottom 10 to 20% of the battery bank, right? Yes. If you do like 4.1 volts down to 3, I think that's what Tesla does. I think normally, right, if you wanna, they have like levels, right? If you want the range, then they'll go more than that. I think they don't go past 4.1 and a half. I think. Hey, what are you doing? Smell my armpit? But, ow! Hey, what are you doing? Guy, come on. Go play over there. Go play over there with your brothers. Come on. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what you would have to do. Don't charge them all the way up. I think they get damaged more at the top than they do at the bottom. So, you know, but if you keep them like above 3 volts, that's where it's at. Don't take lithium in the unpressurized hold of an airplane. Oh well, yeah, cause what? Cause they get super cold, I guess, and that's not a good thing. Oh, Argentine peso has collapsed. Oh man, I just ordered 50 from Alarm Hookup. 50 batteries, hopefully, right? I got the 8A8. What is that one? It's not caught fire yet, and I'm about to extend the bed to 200. Oh, I see. That's the. Are you guys talking about printers or what? Regarding Alarm Hookups batteries, there's a ton of work still to be done. There you go. Yes. So there you go. They're working as fast as they can. Have you heard about regenerative discharge in the Rev Electrics? Yes, RC battery charger seems like a pretty efficient way to keep the batteries balanced. Ow, hey, no, don't bite me. Well, no, the regenerative, what is it? Discharge? Regenerative discharge. What that means is that when you're discharging a battery, that energy, it needs to go somewhere, right? And you can just burn it. It has in fact, let me show you. It's got resistive loads in here, and that's this whole thing is just a giant heat sink with fins, right? And so what it does, it just burns it up in, like, you know, some resistors or something in there, and that's how it burns up. But the problem is that it'll only do like 10 amps that way. It can't dissipate any more than that. The regenerative discharging is when you actually, the charger, what it does, it just takes that energy from the battery that you're discharging, it just shoves it into another battery. It charges another battery. So it transfers that energy from battery A to battery B, and then that's regenerative, you know. And so that is a very efficient way to do things, right? Like for a Tom. Oh, by the way, Tom, sorry, I guess I didn't send you that link yesterday. I was supposed to send you that link. Someone like Tom, we were talking about that last night, is he's gonna discharge. He's got to test a bunch of batteries, right? So that would be a good way to do it. So that way you don't just waste a bunch of energy. You just transfer it from, you know. Then you can test those batteries that you were shoving that energy into. You were charging them, then you take them over here, discharge the next ones. So that's the whole idea about this. It doesn't quite work it doesn't quite work because now that charger has to manage two battery packs, the one that you're discharging and the one that you're charging, and so it doesn't do it very well. So even though you could do it at like 40 amps supposedly, it never actually works that way. It starts like at 20 and 30 amps and then it just tapers off because it has a bunch of sensors and it measures the resistance in the cables and the thing and the heating, and there are like a bunch of things that prevent it from actually going full throttle. But you could do it, and I tried it. I tried it like running like those things hard, and it wasn't easy. But I think that's what you're referring to there. Let's see here. Check your messages on Instagram. Javier says Sunlight Conversions. LA Times, did you upload your design anywhere? You guys want to hear a joke? Is battery pack safe charging without a BMS? It can be if you know what you're doing. If your battery cells are balanced, then you can totally do it. There's a thing that it's called bottom balance. I don't know if I actually made. By the way, that's my dad here. For all of you guys that are wondering, yeah, I've been running batteries without a BMS for a long time, but then I have very good, high quality cells that were very well balanced at the factory, and I checked. I actually don't check that often. I think I check a few times, but I've been running them like that for years now, and it just works. Let's see. Conversions, you have picks. I have a pan. It's looking. I've been a subscriber for 4 years. This is James Claflin. Claflin? Are you applying for jobs so you can get money for bigger projects? I love the bus videos. What happened to your EV West videos? No, I actually don't want to do... I don't want to do this for a living. I don't want to work on batteries for a living. That's just the thing that I'm doing right now. I find it interesting, and you guys seem to find it helpful, so I'm going for it, right? But my dream is to actually be a content creator. That's what I grew up wanting to be that, and everything in my life has led to that, right? So this is a part of that, right? And I'm growing an audience. There's like 200,000 of you guys are following me on here on YouTube and stuff. Eventually, it's the content. It's gonna shift or it's gonna split, and you guys are totally gonna hate me for it. A lot of you guys, but I think I'm gonna be able to find a lot new audience. There's a ton of people in the world, and I think my interests are eventually I'm gonna start mixing them in there. But that's what I want to do. I'm still kind of struggling to make this thing happen, right? To make money doing that way, but I think it's gonna happen. I'm almost there. I'm like so close. But yeah, I'm definitely turning down jobs every day. Everybody wants me to build stuff for them. Cars, Powerwalls, new startups, solar things, solar array, yeah, all kinds of things. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. That takes me away from doing videos. And there are way more lucrative things that I could be doing other than making videos. But this is just one of the things that I like doing. I mean, I'm doing it now that I'm not making money. Imagine the day that I'm making money. Hopefully, maybe it's not gonna mess it up for me, but it should be easier when I'm making money. I have a hybrid car. I want to add battery to it. With DC step up and DC step down, so I can control rates. You have ways to do that. The voltage levels are around 280 to 300 volts DC. Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could do it. I've never been involved. I'd say I don't like hybrids, but actually, hybrids are actually pretty awesome cars. I don't like the Leaf. Wait, is the Leaf a hybrid? The Leaf is not a hybrid. The Leaf is a fully electrical. I don't like the Prius. The Prius is a terrible car. I mean, it's not a terrible car. It's just a terrible looking car. So cool. I just don't like it, and I'm not really interested in a tiny little battery and a tiny little motor that works together with like a thing. I actually like more like the Chevy Volt, like the ones that my wife drives. That one's like a full-size electric car with a full-size battery pack, right? That just also happens to, have well, kind of like a full-size electric gas engine. I think it's the out of all the designs, the hybrid designs, I think the inline hybrid is the best one because it allows us to actually use the car 100% electric most of the time, right? Except when we're like, hey, let's just go to, let's go down to San Diego or let's go to San Francisco. Boom, we get on it, we fill the tank, we just go, right? So it's like electric car 99% of the time, and then that 1% of the time when you want to go get out of town, you don't have to go and rent one. Which, by the way, wouldn't be that crazy of an issue if you just, had a full-time electric car and then you just rent one when that car's not, when you go out of town. Who goes out of town, often? We don't. Every once in a while. Those hoverboard batteries make great e-bike batteries. I use 4 and cheap eBay front-wheel drive. There you go. I mean, yeah, those are basically, that's what they are. They're just for mobility. Jay, I suggested regenerative discharge to Tom, but didn't know the term. You said the concept when visiting him recently. Yeah, man, that's a good thing. You should be doing that because, as it turns out, it wasn't. Yesterday, I was like, man, it's gonna cost you $100,000, and it's like, no, it's like $140. I added too many zeros, but it does add up. I mean, his electric bill is crazy. It's like in the thousands of dollars, so he needs to figure it out. Are my questions getting deleted? James Claflin? No, I answered one, no? What did the boof? Oh, that's your joke. Would graphene batteries be good? I think they would. I don't know. I don't know what they add. I've seen them. I've read stuff on them, but I'm like, who cares? When I have them in my hand, when Tom starts selling them, then I'll care. Let's see. My post on Powerwall Facebook group have a few basic 31. Oh yeah, STL files. Island Times likes the 38 120s. Those are toilet paper roll size lithium iron phosphate cells, for those of you that don't know. You're famous now. How many kilowatt hours are all your Powerwalls together? So I used to have about 22 kilowatt hours. Some until like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I took most of these batteries and then I took them off of their thing and I sold them because then that was the only way that I was going to be able to buy some of those, some of the best batteries that we have had available to us, right? The 3600 milliamp hour ones. So now currently only that box has batteries, and only 2 of those boxes, and they're not that big. It's like 6 kilowatt hours or something like that. So yeah, I'm kind of weak right now when it comes to my Powerwalls, but I'm working on that one. That was a 5 kilowatt hour, and then I'm gonna build another one like that, and I'm gonna replace all those with the 2 cleaner ones, like that size, which is much more closer to the actual Powerwall, the Tesla Powerwall 2 size. Oh my god, it just jumped again. Good answer. I wish you the best, dude. You want me to print it? I got... Okay, so let's see. Can you tell me how you would make your own 52-volt e-bike pack? What do you... I don't know. What do you mean? Like, I don't understand that question. You just get a bunch of cells, and then you put them together, and then you... I would spot weld them with, like, fuse wire. That's what I did on the last skateboard. That's how I'm going to do this one, by the way. So this is 6 cells here. This is going to be 3S, 2P. So I'm just going to use like resistor legs and, do the thing. Oh, you'll see on the video. That video is going to come out. Let's see. Can you tell me? Oh, that's the one. I already read that one. What does Senor Garcia think about your job on YouTube? I don't know if he entirely knows what I do. I think he asks himself every day, like, what does this guy do? How is this guy paying his bills? Uh, yeah, I don't know if he entirely understands what's going on here. You know, my dad's like 86. He was born 1930, so yeah, he things are a little bit different in his time. You should advertise the jobs you turned down. Your users are a community of people with similar interests and skills. Yeah, you know what? I probably should. Um, you know what? Here's the thing, guys. Ton of people want to pay me to build them batteries, and I'm like, no, sorry, I don't do that. I wish I could send you to someone that does. So, if you want to build batteries, well, I should probably vet them first. I don't want to be recommending people that have no business doing batteries, right? Yeah, all of you guys that are building batteries, if you are interested in you know, taking on jobs, let me know, because every day I'm like, I wish I had someone that I knew that does this. Because they ask me, it's like, could you recommend someone? And I'm like, no, I don't know anybody that's doing this, like, you know, like professionally. But definitely, yeah, there are going to be those guys that want to do this professionally, and if you're one of them, let me know. I can find you. I can find you jobs. Turn them your way. Gustavo Campos says, could you please tell me where I can see one of your videos building a power pack like the one Joe Marquez build? The name of his video is DIY Power Portable Solar Generator, 512 watt hours. Yeah, you'll be able to go to, yeah, I know I have 500 videos, so it's kind of hard, but yeah, I have videos. I have a couple of them. You just have to look through them and find it. Jehu, $5 each for the green Boston Power. 5300. Talk to him, said, and show him pics. They're brand new, never used. Oh wow, James Robertson. Where is the source? Is that like from China? Because I bought this one from China actually for $5. I actually paid more, but if you order like 10 of them or 20 of them, I don't remember how many. It comes down. The price comes down to $5.56, and they did 5,800 milliamp hours. But of course, you know, that's they're singing over there, my dogs. Hey, quiet. I'm trying to work here. I'm getting messages. Let's see. Ice engines will always have their use. One day we'll effectively be able to store solar by converting the carbon and water in the air to store energy. Yeah, I think so. Horses, they still have their use. I mean, you know, not to mention that they're animals, right? But people still use them in some places to, like, do, you know, to do stuff, to do work. Let's see. There's Crystal, by the way. Everybody say hi to Crystal. I have 5 kilowatt. Okay, come on. That's not a question. Oh, Island Times is selling all of his Deep Cycle AGMs at the moment. There we go. Anybody's interested in contact Island Times. Do you have a special tool for spot welding? No, it's just the regular Chinese spot welder. So the Chinese spot welders are not that great at spot welding. At least not what they're supposed to be designed to spot weld that little strip of metal, right? I don't know what's it called, the nickel strips or something like that. They don't actually do that great of a job at doing that, but they are great. Actually, it's kit. They're actually great at spot welding fuse wire. I kind of got it down, and it kind of works. And yeah, I use that. I'll post a link here to the. I have a little kit. Come on, let's see here. Where are you? It's solar DIY Powerwall building essentials. There we go. And it's just a bunch of tools that I own. Oh Jesus, guys, quiet. No barking. Come on, no barking, guys. Here we go. Let's see. Can you do a video on how to connect a drug meter? Oh, have I not made one yet? I thought I kind of did. There's like a live thing that I did where I used it and connected it, and then I kind of talked about it. And by the way, there's so many of them. There's like different versions. I can't even keep up with them. Like I got one that I couldn't make it work last time, and I don't know if I just got a bad one. So I want to try it because it's like it's cool. The little screen and stuff, and the price is great. Oh my god! Hey, quiet. Play with your toy. There you go. Play with your toy. So it's 7:47. Yeah, at 8, these guys get hungry and they're like, they start complaining to me that they're, you know, they need to eat. Hello from Iowa. I'm working on building a power wall and was wondering if there's advantages or disadvantages to making large parallel packs and then doing them in series and vice versa. No, that's actually a really good way to do it. If you get 200 cells and then you parallel them, and then you get another 200 cells and you parallel them, you can run those in series. You can do 7. Oh my god. Hey, stop it. No barking. No barking. They disconnected my thing. Let's see. Is it funny that you said horses? I'm in Texas and in my community horses are about 1/3 of the population. What? Texas still has a bunch of horses. What do you guys use the horses for? Kevin Williams says Javier has a video on DIY spot welder. Oh yeah. I think it costs around $50 in parts. Yeah, I think the only problem with that one is that he's using a relay, which is not going to last very long, because every time that relay closes the circuit, that means there's a spark right in the contacts, and so that's gonna, you know, that spark is just gonna eat away at those contacts, and so it's not gonna last very long. What you have to do is you have to use like a semiconductor, like some kind of transistor, a trisistor. There's all kinds of different ones that you need to use in order for it to last a long time. Every time you hit it, there's a spark, and then, you know, what can happen eventually, it's gonna happen is that it's gonna weld together. Like contactors get welded together often. That's stuff that happens to us in electric cars all the time, and you don't want that to happen. What do you think about LCB's lithium ceramic battery? They're flat and flexible. I don't know anything about LCB's. Yeah, one day maybe I'm gonna play with them, but as of right now, no. I don't like those chemistries that are not available. Futuristic. I don't like those. The future chemistries, the lab batteries. Hey, no barking. What I'm looking is how to arrange the cells in 3S configuration. 3 times 12 cells. I'm new to all this. How can I search in your videos for a guide in doing this? Oh, Gustavo Campo. What was your question? So it depends. I mean, depends what it's a, you know, it's a broad question. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what voltage you're trying to work with. I don't know what cells you're using. It's just it's kind of a complex. I mean, to me it seems like very simple thing to figure out, right? But I know, yeah, if you're new to it, it might seem daunting and seem like it's a lot of things that you got to remember, right? So you have to first figure out what voltage you're gonna be using, right? These batteries, lithium cobalt oxide chemistries, the 3.7 volt batteries don't make great 12 volt batteries because the voltages don't match. So 3 in series is too low, 4 in series is too high. So we don't recommend doing that. So that's why we're always like recommending either changing whatever you're trying to power to some that runs on 24 volts, because the 24 volt that is made for lead acid works, right? So you just have to find out how much power you need at any given time, and then you multiply that by the amount of hours that you want to run that thing, and then that's going to tell you, you know, how much battery, how much energy you need to use. And then after you know how much energy you need to do, then you can figure out how many cells, right? First, not all cells are the same, right? This is 2.6 amp hours battery, right? So about 10, this is about 10 watt hours. And yeah, it really helps when you talk about, you convert everything to watts, because watts, it's a full unit. It's a full unit of energy, right? It's the way you measure it. Amp hours don't mean anything, because 1 amp hour at 1 volt is not the same as 1 amp hour at 100 volts, right? So when you tell me like amp hours, that's only half of the story. So, but if you tell me 10 watt hours, then I'm like, okay, that's the same at any voltage, right? So, by the way, this one has about 10 watt hours. So then whatever, if you need 10 kilowatt hours, then you divide that into 10, and that'll tell you the amount of these cells that you're going to need, right? Which is what, about 1,000 of these cells? But then if you're using this other type of cell, right? This is a different one. This is a 2001. That's actually not a, this is a 2700. This one is 4,400 milliamp hours times 3.7. That's going to be different. That's going to be like, I don't know, 15. Yeah, no, 13 watt hours, something like that, right? So this one, you know, they're going to require less cells. But you have to know what cells you're working with. And, you know, if you're using, like, used cells, then, you know, you got to figure out where they're at. All that stuff, you know what I mean? So that's a hard question to answer without all the details. So you have to figure that stuff. Ron, I'm going to New York, man. Let's hang out this weekend. There's like a Evolve is doing something, the skateboard thing. Oh man, oh, you know what? So the guy that Vitali has extra boards, he said. So maybe you can come and join us. We can hit the streets of New York City, man, and come and. That means you gotta get good. You have 1 week to get good at riding a skateboard, Ron. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm coming to New York. I'm buying my plane ticket tonight. Oh, let's see. We have a super chat. Gustavo Ocampo. Thank you very much, brother, teaching me. Oh, thank you, Gustavo. I appreciate that very much. Hopefully I was useful in answering your question. Like, come on. Oh man, this thing got stuck now. Come on, man. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Now the thing is stuck. So if I delete it, I had to close that window because it gave me a thing. Let's see. Reopened it over here. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see. Do you have appointments opening anytime soon? Yeah. Go to Fam Time, and I set up a bunch of those, even like weeks ahead. I realized that like sometimes people will want to like schedule. People work on schedules. I'm terrible at schedules, right? I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I mean, I have a rough idea what I'm doing tomorrow, right? But I don't, it's really hard for me to do that. So I realize that the rest of the world does work like that. And so I put some out there, like, you know, not even knowing what I'm going to be doing, but at least now that I know that I set up a thing, and if someone like, you know, then I guess I can commit, and like, I know like, well, I have to do this thing wherever I'm at. If I'm in New York, if I'm in here, if I'm, you know, wherever I'm at, I need to make time to do these things, the one-on-ones. Yeah, go to famtime.com/Jehu. Let's see. .com/Jehu. Boom. And you can get an appointment there, and then we can like spend time talking about your project. Okay. Do I need only one 4S BMS for a 4S 2P LiPo 4 pack? And why would BMS have amp limits when the major current doesn't flow through them? No, they do. So a BMS, so let's talk about a BMS. A BMS is essentially a switch, right? This is a little BMS, and these four little semiconductors here, these are like MOSFETs, or I don't know, whatever they are. They're P or N channel or IGBTs. No, they're probably not IGBTs. Anyways, these are like transistors. Let's just call them transistors. They're a switch. They get turned on to let current pass through it if this little IC over here says it's all the voltages in all the cells are within range, right? Within 3.0 to like, or I don't know, they some of them go down to like 2.8 or something. So they're within the range. Then they say, okay, connect the battery pack. Like let current pass through the semiconductors. And so they're on only when that happens. If any of those batteries then fall out of range, then these semiconductors turn off, and that means the switch stopped. So that's why they have an amp rating. It's because these little semiconductors, they're not 100% efficient. That means that the current that gets through, some of it gets lost in heat, and so they have to dissipate some heat, and so they have ratings. You know, they can't. This thing can't dissipate 100 amps, you know, or let's see, this thing can't dissipate 100 watts. They can probably dissipate like 10 watts or something, right? So then that's why they have the limits in the amount of amps that you can put there. And of course, you could, if you wanted to get more, you know, out of that, you can parallel BMSs. You know what I mean? Like, so that you'll have two of these guys, and these are in parallel. So they're both of these switches are on, and they're both have their own little sensors and stuff. And that's what I'm working on here. We're gonna put them in this board that just goes on top of the stack of those boards that we're doing. And the reason I'm choosing this is because these are cheap. They're mass produced. These are like $6, and they do 20 amps max, right? Like 10 amps probably continuous. So you put 3 of these, you can get 30 amps out of like a stack of like 10 or 20 of these guys. Wait, 10 would be 440. Yeah, 10. So that means every 10, every stack of 10, then it's fused around 40 amps, right? So then you put one of these, well, actually less than that, because these are only 30. Yeah, so anyways, you can, yeah, you'd have to do all that math according to your thing, but that's what we're trying to do. Let's see here. What is the Q rating in the battery? I don't know what the Q rating is, but I know 30 is because there are 3,000 milliamp hours. And the Q, I think, might just be, I don't know, it's just a letter they picked or something. I think those are high current. Those are like power cells. They can do, how many amps can they do? Like 20 amps? I think they do 20 amps, and they're 3,000 milliamp hours. New member, woo! Who is it? Welcome, DJust787. Thank you for joining. The membership thing. Oh, no way, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was like, how do you turn that off? So Ron says, I practiced longboard the other day. There you go, Ron. You have a week. Get good, man, because we're coming into town. Let's do it. Clear your schedule for Saturday. I want to build a skateboard before then. That means I have to, like, leave. I have to be there, like, early Friday, at least, to get enough time. I mean, come on, right? How long does it take to build a skateboard? I should be a pro at this, right? Should be easy. I'm looking to eventually do an AC coupled 20 to 25 kilowatt hour with my 5 kilowatt solar. I have found only one guy on YouTube that made a massive battery pack with them, but his is off-grid completely. Anyone else done this? Yeah, so you're not gonna find a lot of DIY, which, by the way, what batteries did he use? But you're not gonna find a lot of them grid tie systems, because then they have to be like UL certified, like everything, including batteries. And so if you're doing DIY, you're not gonna send your battery to be UL certified, right? So it's almost impossible to do it. Like, unless you're some company that's gonna mass produce a battery or something, it's not. You can't get it UL listed. And so if it's not UL listed, I don't think you can get permits, and it won't pass inspection, and it won't. Although, well, no, yeah, because I think when you use lead acid batteries. Yeah, but lead acid batteries typically were not used as grid tie either. They were used, like, there's some hybrid applications that you might get away doing like that. But yeah, that's the thing that we're coming up to. Like, it's like no one's figured out batteries yet, other than Tesla, right? That's because they have a massive production, mass produce that thing. So yeah, the rest of us will have to, like. So the best power, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's so hard because AC couple is really the way to go, right? It's, you have AC couple solar panels, right, and micro inverters on the back of each panel, and then you have a battery that is also AC coupled, so it's like it's got a built-in, inverter and a charger in there. And so you just use all the wiring of your house already. Why do you have to lay out new wiring? Yeah, it's less efficient, but I mean, you have to do the standards. It's not like you're gonna change all your devices and stuff. AC couple is the way to go, even including with the batteries, with the Tesla Powerwalls. I mean, those guys got it right, and there's a lot of benefits in doing that. It's just tricky. Doing a DIY is tricky. So you might have to do an off-grid system that then just has like a charger plugged in, and you have the grid as a backup. So basically that system works, charges the solar, charges the batteries, and then the batteries power your home. And then the grid is there for backup if there's not enough sun, or if your batteries mess up or for some reason, or they're not operating, or there's something trigger that thing, that the safety thing, systems to not allow you to use your battery, then it just switches automatically to the grid. That is the best possible way to use it right now legally in the US. Use a battery, but that means you have to make your battery system primary and then use the grid as secondary, as backup. How are those Fiat 500e batteries versus 1860 cells? Well, price wise, they're cheaper actually. These are like $110, $120 a kilowatt hour, and they're a lot less work. And these are power cells. They put out like 200 amps, so you can actually run. This is a power cell. Like, these batteries are made to run a car, which is like, you're talking about 100 kilowatts. The Fiat 500 has, I think, like 120 kilowatt motor. So a single string of those batteries, at 300 volts, obviously, right? So you're talking about 200 amps. So those are like awesome batteries. They're way overkill for Powerwalls, right? But the energy density is not that great, so that's why they're not very attractive to the DIY electric car community. And so that's why, well, let's build Powerwalls with them, right? And I know I've been talking about them for a long time, but I finally, found a box today, and I have 4 of them. I'm gonna make a video about that stuff. And, a lot of you guys will be converted. You're gonna be like, why are we dealing with stupid little 18650s? Let's just build one of those packs. So much easier and so much more affordable. Let's see. Woo! Okay, that jumped. Don't put that evil. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. It's just cool to support creators like you. Gives a fancy badge as well. Yes, look at you, DJ787. He's got a special badge. Which, by the way, which one's the badge? Not the D, right? The one next to it. Yeah, the one with the S. Subscriber. The S is for subscribe. No, subscriber? No, it's not subscriber, right? What is it called? They changed the name. I think it was something else. Now it's, I forget. Can't keep up with the whole thing. Have you thought of adding Raspberry Pi to your Powerwall? Not really. I don't know coding. Um, I don't. I think I'm too. It's too late for me. It's too late. So okay. So I know people don't like it when I say that, right? Like I'm one of those people that are like, I'm not gonna tell you what not to do because I'm nobody, right? I'm gonna tell you what you should do or what you should try and do, what you can do, right? Uh, I think that's much more effective. I think those people that are worrying like, oh, you shouldn't tell kids that they can be whatever they want. That's doing a disservice to. I don't 100% believe in that. I'm like, no, encourage them to do, to feel like they can do whatever they want. That's the only difference between people that do and are successful in the world is that they feel empowered. They before they do it, they're like, I think I can do this. I know I can do this. I'm gonna then go ahead and fail or go ahead and succeed. But you're not ever gonna succeed if you don't even try it. So if in your head you're not capable of doing something, then you don't do it, right? So I'm gonna go against my own thing when I say like, it's like at this stage of my life, I'm gonna play on my strengths, right? Well, I just heard one guy that was complaining about his parents. They made him focus on what he was weak in school, right? He was good at science and math, and then he was really terrible at English. And so his parents are like, oh my God, you got a D, you got an F on English? There's no way, we're gonna drop everything, we're gonna concentrate and force you to, get a good grade in English. And so now looking back, he was kind of like say, he's saying that like that's not the best strategy for his parents to have done, because had they actually focused on his strengths, which was science and technology, science and mathematics, then maybe he would have been an engineer. And he thinks now as an adult that he would have been a great or a good engineer. But because he never took those courses, because he was focusing on the ones that he was weak at, I mean, all he can say is that now maybe he's like a little bit less, better rounded person, right? But I mean, like, what would you take? Like, well, I'm semi good at like a lot of things, or I'm really good at this one field because I played my strengths and I focus on that, right? So, oh my God, I hope I don't forget why I'm looking at this. Oh yeah, coding. So I that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, look, I'm old already. I'm behind. Not only am I old, I'm behind. I feel like I was held back too long. Like I was literally held back. Like I didn't start learning stuff, officially learning stuff, till I was 10 years old. No one does that. Everybody starts like when they're 6, right? And then that kind of elongated. By the time I was like 20, I'd only been in school for 6 years. Just the whole life got in the way. The situation. I was poor. And so then not only that, but then I came to a country that I was not allowed to like really have a life. I couldn't drive legally. I couldn't work legally. So that I spent my 20s just being invisible, just not being like a real human being. Like even though like physically I was an adult, I wasn't really an adult. Mentally I was an adult because I couldn't drink. I couldn't go clubbing with my friends. I couldn't do all that stuff, right? So I'm behind that. And so now I'm trying to catch up. And so I'm like, my strategy is to play my strengths. Right? I'm like, there's a bunch of ways for me to make money, but I'm like, screw that. I'm gonna focus on the things that I enjoy doing, and then I'm figure if the money comes, it comes. Money's not the most important thing in the world, but if it comes, it comes. We'll need it, right? So coding is not one of those things. I tried it. Oh my God, I'm terrible at it. I didn't enjoy it. I was just lost. I just don't get the concept. And then I handed it. I tried it with Arduino, right? We're trying to do some Arduino project. And I handed that project to my brother, Misa. And he doesn't know a lot of electronics. He's not interested in electronics, but he used to do HTML. He used to do, and Flash and, all that stuff. And he picks it up like this, like, he just codes the thing that I wanted to code. He doesn't know anything about what I'm trying to do. I mean, I kind of explained what he wanted to do. he's like, I understand the language. I just coding is like second nature to him because he picked up coding, when he was young. I'm too old now. I'm just like, oh my god. And so it's the same thing with like CAD drawing. It's the same thing with all stuff. Like, I have interest in that. I hope that when I was young, I learned that I'd gone to like, yeah. I hope my relationship with like academia wasn't as terrible. It wasn't as bad, dysfunctional. Because then I would have learned a bunch of things. So I love learning things, right? But at this point now, like, I'm playing my strengths. I like to be creative, so I'm gonna do creative work because I enjoy it, right? And I do like technical stuff. I do like batteries. I do like this whole energy thing, the green thing. You know what I mean? Like, I like the whole. By nature, I'm just a hack. I actually take stuff because I've never had any. I never learned to do things the right way, so I always have to figure out to do an alternative way, the way that I can, right? And so that's brought, a lot of problems in my life, but it also has brought it's given me an edge in some way. So that's why I'm looking to do thing. I'm just like gonna hire someone to like do a Raspberry Pi for me and then put it in there. I'm waiting for one of you guys to do it. And then you do the coding, you do the programming, and then I'll do the, I'll do the promotion. I'm good at promoting, right? Let's do it. Let's work together. Let's see. Raspberry Pi for smart monitoring for your Powerwall. Yeah, so there are a lot of people that are using it, right? I don't know what Baytram is. Does anybody know what Baytram? What's it based on? Is it like it's based on some microcontroller, right? I don't know what it is. It based on not on the Arduino one, right? I don't know. Maybe somebody with more knowledge will let us know what the Baytram one is based on. Imagine 100 hours worth of solar. Let's see, a grid tied for solar. A Pi could freeze. Better use something else, Arduino or sorts. For display, a Pi would be handy. Oh. But isn't that just a much more advanced computer? Like, isn't a Pi, it's just like, yeah, it's just a faster chip, and I don't understand enough of it, but I'm like, any computer can be made to run, you can build redundancy so it can be stable or whatever, I think. But what do I know? I want to start learning about this tech. That's what's a great project for a homeowner who wants to begin learning about solar and battery backups. Would be great if you could recommend a start kit. Yeah, built my let me see. I need to update my solar generator because you can't get those batteries. Yeah, you should look at the well, no, it is. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything. My stuff's so outdated. You should start doing a solar power generator, which is essentially a little battery pack with all the equipment that is needed to take energy from a solar panel, charge the batteries, and then take that energy from the batteries and convert it to something that you can use, whether it be using an inverter so you can run 110 and use like household appliances and stuff, or you can, like, if depending on what you do, if you use lithium iron phosphate, then you can do 4S, which means that you can have 12 volts and you can use also the DC 12 volt ports so that you can run like automotive stuff, right? Now there's a lot of electronics that work on 12 volts. So that's an easy project. You can make it small. It doesn't have to be huge. It's a few $100s, and it gives you all the basics, and it's the same thing as like a full size system, like a full home size system. It's the same as that, just bigger. It's the same thing as a RC car, right? You can build an RC car. You do electric skateboard or an e-bike, and then that's basically the same technology as a full-size car, electric car. So though you can do those two projects there for, and like I say, I have one. It's just you can't find those batteries that I used there. It was very specific to those batteries, and now they've run out. And even though that video still keeps getting a lot of, which by the way, one of you guys found those batteries on AliExpress. If you guys know, if you're watching it, and if it was one of you, if you've seen the comments, I saw the comments somewhere, and I remember clicking on the link, and I'm like, oh my god, they found the batteries in that are not available to Tom anymore. They found them on AliExpress. I'm like, I need to link this to my video, but I didn't do it right there and then, and now it's impossible to find because you guys leave so many comments and messages everywhere that it's impossible for me to find that one comment again. I mean, it's like, so if you know that, help me out, let me know, email me jhoodjack35 or post it in the group, make a new thing on the Facebook group. If by the way, if you guys are not members of the Facebook group, you guys need to go and become members of the Facebook group. That's where we put share pictures and just instant like little updates of what we're doing, what we're building. There's a ton of people that are building the PCB based projects, the batteries, the everything is happening there. So if you need some inspiration, make sure you go there. Kyle Forbes says, I'm a 17-year-old high school or 17 senior high school. I'm designing a 3-wheel hybrid car, single seat with fighter jet door. I want front wheels to be hub motors. You're inspiring me to create this. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I wish there were hub motors for like full-size cars, but I mean, if you're building like a light car, kind of like motorcycle class, that type. Yeah, those some of those hub motors have a lot of power. Some people are building like monster e-bikes with like just ton of power. But I'm somewhat dyslexic, says Island Times. But I was also a mechanical engineer and tool maker. There you go. I have socks older than you. Well, that might be true, but I'm not, I'm not young anymore. And besides, they don't make them like they used to, right? So we don't last. Actually, we last longer now. But yeah, definitely. Oh no, it's just got stuck. Am I out of commission? Oh, there we go. Is it coming back? Come on. Oh, lagging. It's lagging. It's red. Oh, let me turn on my thing. It might be time to swap. Might be time to swap the Oh, there we go. We're back. Are we back? I'm gonna turn this hotspot thing on just in case we need to do the thing again. We'll be able to just switch to something that is much more stable. Am I back? Yes, right? We're good. Don't trust. Clinton McDonald says there are hubs motors for cars. Yeah, but where are they? I've never seen one, and I've been around electric motors and electric cars, DIY cars for a while. Did it stop again? Come on. Has it been doing that, or it's just it just did it now? Let's see. Moderators. right, so I had to change to the phone. Yeah, all of a sudden, just my connection took a dump. This terrible connections here in the U.S. You know, for this being a first world country, terrible. Very, very terrible. Let's see here. Average Joe's in the house, huh? Let's see. Spoiling them. Let's see. No, we're not back. No. Credits. All right, we're back. We are back, guys. It's starting from the beginning. No. Oh, really? Did it start from the beginning? You'll just have to fast forward it. Yeah, you'll have to fast forward it so that it doesn't do that. Let me see. It gives me time to go and look at some of the older questions that you guys were asking. Oh, the pic says, did I miss the combo about the batteries in the picture? Yeah, I kind of did. I did talk about them. Oh, yeah. So there's a link down there, guys. It's the title, DIY Powerwalls don't have to look DIY. So if you guys are building a battery, here's the thing that I don't see. I don't see a lot of DIY Powerwalls that use enclosures, right? So we're doing all the stuff where we have all the like all the cells exposed and stuff, and I mean, I'm the only one that's putting stuff in boxes, right? Like, it's cool because you want to show off your work, because you want to show, like, batteries are cool. I mean, they're, you know, some people might say they're even beautiful, but yeah, it's just, it has that, you know, homemade look, right? And it's cool because you want to show them off, you want to do the thing. But I think we got to start thinking about moving the whole, you know, the whole thing up, away from that. I mean, you know, you don't have to, but I think as a community we have to, right? And so finding these boxes and stuff, it's one way to make stuff look legit. You know, then maybe moving into like people believing, you know, and maybe even like, you know, authorities like signing off on them so that we can do them legit and install them and stuff. So the only way we're gonna do that is if we make them look like professional, you know, and I think boxes will help you do that. So anyways, boxes takes wait a minute, 10? How have I been already used 75% of my allotted thing? Oh my god. Please note that you have used 75% of your 10 gigabyte. Are you coming in? Hold on, let me check. I think someone's knocking on the door. Hold on. So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going. talking about boxes, enclosures. If you guys have some of your favorite, I do quite a bit of research on these guys. They're hard to find the perfect one and the one that is not like super expensive and stuff. And so I finally found one that works with that. This is not one, right? This is actually bigger than my one, but somehow inside it's actually smaller. But I mean, this one would fit a bunch of like batteries in here. You totally could use this. It's just not for those batteries that I'm getting. Maybe I should keep it. I think I should keep it because if I get some other type of batteries, then I don't have to order a bunch. I just know, like, test them, right? And of course, there's all kinds of different ones. There's like the smaller brother, right? This is the other one, and then there's even a smaller one like this that I have. So anyways, I know you guys also do quite a bit of online and internet surfing, looking for components to use on your Powerwalls and stuff. My audio is low. Well, my audio is the same as it was before. What? Come on. Yeah, so it's the same as it was before. Yeah, if you guys have any links of your favorite, if you have found some batteries that are useful, I mean some batteries, some boxes and closures that are useful, post them down in the comments below. Because yeah, they're hard to find. Metal box would be compliant with electrical and be grounded. Well, but really, does it need to be? Hey, no barking. Does it really need to be metal? Because I know, like, the whole Europe, they use like they use plastic boxes, right? I mean, some homes actually have plastic main, you know, like main like breaker boxes too. So I wonder if they do have to be, as long as they're grounded. As long as you have a grounding strip on the bottom, then let's see. It was low before also. Audio's out of sync for me. Wait, what's going on here? Let me see. So people were saying that yesterday too, that it was low. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with a plus 20. Hopefully that brings it up. I think it's the microphone. I think it's time that I get rid of that microphone and get a new one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, who am I? Those that go way back will understand what I'm doing here. Let's see. Homeless, what? Homeless Santa Clara County, California. Hello, everyone. James Ledesma, thank you for $2. Try Craigslist for old electrical boxes. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Except for me, it doesn't work because then all you guys, you know, I take the one, and then I don't, you know, and then you're like, well, which one is it? And then it's like, well, I paid $100 for it, but new it's like $600. Average Joe says, yeah, server rack from Craigslist. There you go. All computer cases work as good pack box. There you go. I'm using a half rack for mine. Yeah, those are cool because they're like kind of beefy. They hold a lot of weight. That's where I was gonna use to build my big battery back, you know, pack that I was gonna do, that industrial one. Yeah, there's some really nice racks. But then it wouldn't be a power wall. It would be a power box. Do you use OBS or split to stream? I use OBS. Yeah, I'm using OBS here. And the volume's all the way up. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Anyone ever tried to hook up two? Oh my god, it just jumped. Just look. 2B6 in parallel? Oh, I actually done that. to charge like a battery faster? Yeah, I think I've done that in the past. I already turned my volume up to 100, so we're good. Get it laser cut, welded, and then spray rubber coated. It will be cheaper than buying IP65, 67 enclosures. But are they rated though? Will your, if you have, well, I guess if you're doing off grid, it doesn't matter. But if you're doing anything that has to be, you know, yeah, do they have to be like certified? Those boxes have to be certified. Wrong, in Europe, it's metal, mandatory, thick metal. Really? I've seen a lot of pictures of like of plastic boxes, like fuse boxes, plastic main, you know, like breaker boxes and stuff. I wonder why and for what reason those are there. Is it by country? Is it just in some parts of Europe? In some parts of Europe, it's like plastic. Electrical panels are shallow. So the batteries are what voltage? Oh, those are 5S, so they're 18 volts. So putting two of them in series, they will give you 10S, which is 36 volts, and putting three of them in series will give you kind of high 48 volts, is like 50 volts or something like that. But that works with some 48 volt inverters like the Magnasign or the what's the other one that EV West use? Schneider, the Schneider ones. I haven't checked out all the other ones. I don't have. What's the difference between Powerwall and Powerbox? Well, one is in the wall and the other one's in the box. I mean, nothing other than the physical thing. They should. So I think Powerwalls are called Powerwalls because they're in the wall and because they power your walls. So it's a double meaning there, right? Because they power your walls because they're powering your house. The cables that are on your walls. So I guess a power box would be also a power wall, but only in the one meaning, but not in the two. We use Hoffman control panel enclosures. They have steel panels that bolt into the back of the enclosure. Yeah, so Hoffman's, they're actually very popular here too. They're just really expensive. Like those are the ones that are like $600 for. I was looking at the one that EV West use, and it's like $600-800 for that one that they use. It's quite a bit of money to do. I mean, I guess if you're putting a battery and it's it's got to be done right, you got to spend the money. Let's see, power rack. There you go. Average Joe's build a power rack. What's the difference between? Oh, I already read that one. Why is your mic so low? I don't know. I can't figure it out. It's all the way up. I think it's my mic. I think I need a new one. This is the old one. Oh, I wonder if it's because I have a brand new camera here. Why am I still using the old camera? So that camera is so messed up that the little connector where the microphone goes, it's broken. It's like dangling around. And it might be maybe because of that. But I have a brand new camera here that I just got. I just need to replace it and put it in there and then start. Look at that. I haven't even taken this thing down. Look at that. All right. Yeah, I'll do that next time for next video. You never know. Any control panel enclosures will work. Plastic or steel is legal. No certification needed unless you want it to be UL listed for some reason, but no need. Just for security, burnout, heating, etc., you would go to jail for that. Just for security. Europe changed in 2011. Oh, really? So they used to be plastic, and now they're like, oh, the breaker ones are okay, but all the other ones are not. Crimp Daddy is in the house. Outback. We are a UL listed panel shop and build off-grid solar systems, often plastic enclosures, sometimes metal enclosures. Oh, okay, there we go. Daniel knows what he's talking about. That's what he does for a living. Really? That's what you do for a living, Daniel? That's crazy. You kind of are in the business, even the fuses are inside metal. How did you pay for the batteries that are behind you? How did you pay for the batteries that are behind you? What does that mean? How did I... Oh, how much did you pay? Okay. Okay, so that's the screen. Which ones? You mean the Fiat ones? They're like 100 and... I think they're like 120 bucks, 130 bucks, I think, each module. Yeah, so I bought 4 of those. Those are the ones that are... I hope that's the ones that you're talking about, because I don't know which other ones. Those other ones over here are not batteries. Oh, actually, those are batteries, but you can't see them. So you probably mean those, right? Powerwall is nice use of normally wasted space. Yeah, it goes up in the wall. It's been... I've been given a 48 volt, 1,000 watt 26 inch from wheel. Need battery and charger. What does that mean? 1,000 watt 26 inch front wheel. Need battery and charger. In the UK, it was legacy plastic breaker box, but new rules, they have to be metal, as the plastic ones were toxic with their in-house fires. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on a house fire, the toxic fume. Well, I mean, no, you have to worry about the toxic fumes, I guess. Let's see. Average Joe cabinets are the best. Power cabinets. If you're going to use a server rack, then you should also use all server chassis for each battery bank. Has Jay talked about the new box? I think I missed it. No, I just put a link to it on the bottom, and I'm talking about the importance of actually putting our batteries in boxes. Not so, I mean, so the ones over there are metal, right? So I'm gonna put mine, the ones that fit on the PCB, on metal. So, you know, it's one little layer of protection, right? Because metal, you know, it's not flammable. Once batteries are, like, if they, for whatever reason, they catch fire or whatever, then it'll take a little while for the flames to get out of that enclosure. But at the very least, you know, like, these are plastic, so at the very least, you know, you kind of keep them isolated, like, because all of our builds, like I said, all of our builds are like just a bunch of exposed batteries on our walls and stuff, and it looks cool, it's awesome, right? It's like we can show our friends, it's like, look at this, they're batteries, man. I think a lot of them actually look at us kind of weird. They're like, okay, so batteries, like, what's the big deal? But yeah, but also I think we have to kind of change the whole thing, where, like, we have to make them look a little bit, you know, more professional, so that people can start. I think so eventually there will be a time where we are going to be able to do this. I mean, I don't know. That's usually not how it works, right? Like, usually industry catches up, and then they fill the void if there's, like, a need. Like, we're thinkers. We're, like, ahead of the curve, right? Like, the adoption curve. So usually what happens is that, you know, this one is kind of backwards, because Tesla kind of came in, and they're like, by the way, batteries, they've been around forever. Let's put them in a box, call them Powerwall, put them in the wall. And then this crazy thing, or I don't even know, is it a crazy thing? Is it a thing that is happening? Are other companies jumping up on board and creating their own batteries? Are there any competition to Tesla? It's kind of hard for me to see, because I'm so in this thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I know there are other batteries, but they're just so like non. It almost seems like they're non-competition, and this DIY thing seems like it's a big thing to me because I get to hear from every one of you, right? But we might not be anything, right? Like we might be just a tiny little dot. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I have like I think it should be a thing where like we make our battery packs so professional looking that it becomes a thing where we're allowed to actually do them right, you know, and we're because I don't think that exists. I think in the States at least, right? Like there's no, I don't think there's a proper way to, without having to like send it to UL approval and stuff, like you can make a pack that is approved and you can actually use it. So, ow. Stop it. This dog. Oh, let me see. Here we go. Manny. Oh, Manny, thank you. Thank you for the $5 or the 25. $5 or 25? I don't know. It's just okay. What do you think? Optima car batteries. I think they're great as car batteries. Not great for storage. At least not. I mean, for backup, I think they're okay, but not great for like cycling stuff, right? Stuff that needs to be cycled. It's a audio ratio setting in OBS that will boost the mic, so that will be higher compared to the sound from your computer videos intro and stuff. Oh. Oh yeah, so everything else is really high, right? Is that what you guys like when I play all the other stuff it's like really high? No, nothing. I just found a box. Oh, wait, weren't you the one that was looking for a box? I found a box where you can put 4 of them. You have to slightly modify the cells. You just have to kind of cut the corner of the flange, and then they fit perfectly. They're like zero play. They're like almost made for that thing, and then you can cover it up. Perfect. Perfect. And then they're not, well, I thought they weren't too expensive. I bought it like at $140. But then now that I checked again today, they're like $180. How does it go up $40 just by me buying the one? I think that's just the one that were in Amazon. So I think I have to find them on eBay and see what the real price is of that. But I hope it's not a lot of money. Like $200 is too much for a box. Like $100, $100. I think that's you can live with that. I think, right? But yeah, more than that, it's too much. So would a box with sand on an upper level that would drop in excess temperatures be a good idea to suppress battery fire? Yeah, that would. I think that would work. Because yeah, sometimes they use that. They use sand to like to throw batteries on there and stuff. I mean, it would. I don't know. I think it would mess up your thing if accidentally went, you know, trigger that thing. You bury you, or maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Hey man, why don't you use big 12-volt battery for your Powerwall? Because lead acid batteries are not that great for cycling. So they have they don't like they so lead acid batteries like to be like topped off, like just live like fully charged, right? So they're great for like standby, like as backup. But then the regular car lead acid batteries are not that great because they get damaged if you use more than 50% depth of discharge. And then like the ones that are like sealed, there are like deep cycle cells that you can cycle, but then they're big and heavy. And then so at the long run they end up costing way more money because you have to change them every couple of years or whatever. Although some people say they don't. Some people are like, nah, I've been using my batteries for 10 years or whatever. But I think, in generally speaking, they're just, you know, lithium batteries are just better. They're just more finicky. You can kill them really easily and stuff. That's the reason why. And then like lithium batteries are just so much more prevalent now. Like we're gonna be swimming in batteries. We already are. They're gonna be everywhere, and so we have to find ways to do it. This is not just to actually like do a thing that we need to do, but this is also a thing that helps the environment because then it keeps them. If we find use for all these discarded batteries, then less of them end up either ending up in landfills or being recycled early. Like right, if a battery still can hold a charge, it shouldn't be destroyed. It shouldn't be like processed for its raw components or materials or whatever. So it's good for the environment. It's good for us because we can do it, and then it's fun to build batteries. A lot of us like building our own stuff. It makes us feel like useful. It makes us feel accomplished. We can save, I don't know, save money. Some of us have more time than money. Some of us need things to do and occupy our minds. There's all kinds of reasons why people would do this, and all of them are good, by the way. None of them are bad. Whichever your reason it is to do this, it's a good thing. There are also people that are just gonna want to buy one, and that's okay too, if you can afford it. What about the enclosures? I was asking for if people have found some enclosures. I found some, and I'm sharing the ones that I found that are useful for the kinds of batteries that we're using. And so if you guys have more, if you've found some other ones that work for you, do share with us so that we know which ones you guys are using. I can't find all of them because, it takes a lot of work, actually. Don't forget to wash your hands after working with lead acid batteries. Ooh, yeah. I hate touching them. I don't, because they have that. Yeah, that's terrible. I hate lead acids. And I really dislike nickel metal hydrate batteries. Terrible batteries. They're like, you never know if they're charged. You never know how long they're gonna last. It's terrible. I don't like them. I don't understand them. They're always like, then their use is always on alkaline, on devices that are made for alkaline, so they're always low, right? Like we have like we use them a lot in like these microphone systems, right? A wireless lavalier mics, and those are designed for 1.5 volt, alkaline. So when we throw in the rechargeables, at the very beginning they say like, oh, low battery, from fresh batteries that we put off the charger because they're 1.2 volts, right? So I mean, I kind of know that, but this just doesn't help that system is not smart enough to know, like, oh, you have some nickel metal hydrate. So, and it's just the thing that measures how much life you have. If it's like halfway or whatever, it just doesn't really work. So I hate them. Don't like them. All right, guys, 9 more minutes, and then we'll call it a night. So that you guys can all go. Well, actually, we're gonna go to sleep. It's 8. It's gonna be 9. I don't know where you guys are at. Wherever you're at, some of you guys are just starting your day. I actually did this earlier, which it was crazy because the regulars weren't here, but then there's some other people that were here, and I was trying to start this a lot earlier. Like how much earlier? Let's see. I saw some streams today that had a lot of people, and I was like, hi, I want to try that. And see if like more of my audience could see them there. What do you guys think if I start this like? So I started today at 7. I was supposed to start at 6:30, but I actually didn't show up to 7, which is an hour earlier than usual. But what if like let's say we do this like 7 hours before? Where would you be at that time? Is that a good idea? Would it make it easier for you to join in? Because I know a lot of you guys is like late, right? Like back east. If you're in the States here, back east, then it's. But if you're like in Europe, I don't know, what time is it in Europe? It's like all over the place, right? I mean, there we go. See, Daniel Rome is going. Great shot. Gotta go to bed here in the East Coast. I'll take some photos tomorrow at work and show you how a lot of this is built and wired in electrical application. It should provide a few ideas. There you go. Yes. Post them in our group. So that we can be inspired by those. Let's see. Don't be a nanny. Wait, what is this? 6 in the morning, says Ignatius. Yeah, you're just starting out your day. Pacific Standard Time for life. There you go. 4:52 a.m. in the morning in the UK. Just finishing my night shift. Oh, I see. Yeah, so there you go. See, 7 hours ago. Well, 7 hours ago, what you were doing, you were starting your shift, right? So maybe not. I need to start it earlier than that. Oh, no, but you work at night. Yeah, okay. So if I want to be at a decent time in the UK or that part of Europe, that means I have to go on live here at 8 or 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. So between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then that's gonna be a good day, right? I better get a world clock. Well, I have it on my phone, so I guess I could just do that. I want to go through the whole process of harvesting, testing, and building. Is there a place in the IE? What's IE? Is that Europe? To get used components, or is eBay my best bet? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know battery sources are scarce everywhere else except in the US. We seem to just have them, but they're coming. So I have 40,000 cells, 20,000 30 Qs, and 20,000 25 Rs coming up for sale in Europe, in the UK. We're gonna sell them by the box, 100. I just need to get some samples and make sure that they're actually legit. They seem like they're legit, but you know. And then I think Tom just said that they're soon that they're gonna have like a warehouse or somehow have cells available for you guys in Europe. So that's gonna be good. That means you guys are gonna have cells down there, and those are the hardest things to get. Everything else you can get, right? So yeah, it should be pretty good. This should be a whole worldwide movement of you know, recycle, reclaim, reharvest batteries and Powerwalls. Would Facebook be the best place to talk with people in the community, bounce ideas, etc.? I should post their audio settings. Oh yeah, do it. Yeah, we have our Facebook group. Do I have a link to that? Let me put a link to that so you guys can click on it. Yeah, that's for right now. It is the best place. We're all very active over there. I want to say I'm too active. I'm gonna have to kind of step back and do less of that so that I can get more time to make videos. I mean, right now it's easy because it's like instant gratification. You just go in there and you post a picture and then you talk and everybody comments on it and you're like, this ideas and links and stuff, and you know, it's addictive. It's yeah, so you guys got to be ready if you're not. But you know, most of like the video creation like process, it's mostly like me just obsessively like shooting. I'm terrible at speaking in front of the camera, right? So I have to like really gather my thoughts into what I'm gonna say, and then just say it once and twice and 3 times, and then you know, and then I'm like get tired of it because I hate repeating myself. So then I get that footage and then I sit for hours like editing out all the bad parts of all, you know, and trying to make coherent sentences out of all the words that came out of my mouth. And then the music, you know, I gotta find the right music. It's just terrible. It's a terrible process, but you know, it's like it's a cool one because once you like get done, hey, stop attacking me. then you get to release a video that a bunch of people see, right? At the beginning, no one saw them, so then I would just like do quick videos that I didn't care or whatever. But now I know there's a lot of you guys watching, so there's a little bit of a, there's a little bit of pressure there to like not do terrible videos. I don't guarantee that I'm not gonna make terrible videos, but at least it crosses my mind before I submit the thing, right? Playing with cars and solar on van all at once when Jehu went live. Oh my god. Island Times. Hey. No barking, man. Come on. Ooh, look at that. Look, oh my god. Look, electric vehicles, solar panels. Look at all that stuff. Look at all the tools. And you have, because you're in an island, so you have, like, is it a tropical island? It's got to be a tropical island, right? It's in, wow. That's cool, man. All right, guys. Super caps for the win. They will literally outlive you. If I do drone videos, Andrew Hurst, finding the right music is the hardest part. Yes. Oh my god. I'm like, and then I'm starting to get this thing because like all my videos get demonetized or not monetized. They get content ID strikes, right? So I'll have like, I had one. There's a video that's like over 1 million views and it's getting like hundreds of views per day, 1,000 views per day or whatever. After like a year, all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, the system recognized one of the songs. Boom, you can't monetize it. And usually what you can do is you can go and erase that song or mute it or whatever. And then you can monetize your video again. This one I can. And I'm like, oh my god, that's like a couple $100. That's one of the big videos that gets a couple $100 a month, you know? And I'm like, there goes that money just because the stupid song that I use. So now I'm like starting to use songs that I get the rights for, right? I pay for them or whatever. But then they're just, I don't know, they're not as good, I feel. But at least that removes that chance of that happening. So anyways, that's just what has to happen, right? Okay, guys, thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for talking batteries, boxes, you know, all the stuff. Oh my god, hey, quiet, boys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for all your support. Join our Facebook group, or there's a Discord group. Did I put a link? I didn't put a link, man. Continue the conversation on the Discord. Let me put a link here. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, there we go. Look, someone sent me a Discord. Oh, that's not the one. Let's see. Ian, right? Ian was the guy that sent me a thing. Discord link. There we go. I need to put this on the. I need to just get. That's not the full. Yeah, let's continue the conversation over in this Discord group. They're always talking batteries. They're always talking Powerwalls and all that stuff. And so then we'll see you. Yeah, and then there's a Facebook group. Thank you, Island Times, for the link. We'll see you guys in the next video. Okay. Good night.